Welcome to Money Making Conversation Masterclass. I'm your host, Rashawn McDonald. I recognize that we all have different definitions of success. For you, it may be the size of your paycheck. Mine is inspire people to develop a plan to reach their dreams. It's time to stop reading other people's success stories and start writing your own. You can only exceed expectations by believing in yourself. People always talk about their purpose or gifts. If you have a gift, lead with your gifts and don't let your friends, family, or coworkers stop you from planning or living your dreams. My guest on the show is Tavonia Evans. She's a 47-year-old mompreneur. Let me get that out. Mompreneur. She just put a new word out there and I can't even say it. She has been called the Queen of Crypto due to being an established crypto expert and the founder of the decentralized cryptocurrency known as Guapcoin. She was featured on Glamour magazines in May of 2018, Women's in Crypto, CNN, Bloomberg, Complex TV, CNBC, Reclaire, and Livity. Anything that has to do with talking about this new money that we as African Americans, we as people of color need to be aware of it. I got on the show today to continue to educate me on it. Please welcome to Money Making Conversation Masterclass, Tavonia Evans.
Hey, how are you?
Well, two things when I bring an expert like you, Tavonia, because I'm going to tell you, I am a credit card person. I am a cash person. I am a guy who knows the banking systems that I've been raised on. And so now you're introducing a digital currency platform that some people, and even myself, when it came out, I said, oh, this is a scam. Because I couldn't hold my money. I couldn't hold a credit card. I couldn't hold $5, $10 or coins. What has been, is that the world that you hear a lot from a person like me or people like me when it comes to cryptocurrency?
Absolutely. But I love the way you started out by saying new money, because most of us in our community don't realize that this is actually money, right? There, a lot of people think that crypto is either a stock or just simply an investment instrument or, or like you said, a scam. But what they fail to realize is that it's been around for well over a decade now. And the rest of the world is using this every day. And we're behind as Americans. And then we're even further behind as Black Americans.
Well, here's my whole thought. To try to simplify the world. When people say, well, cryptocurrency, I don't live like that because like I go to this kind of like fast food restaurant called Cava, Cava. You can't even use cash. So I got to use a credit card to do business in there. So I'm already in the digital currency world that crypto is living in. Okay. And then when you have a credit card, you have a credit card limit put on there. So you're already in that digital currency world because you're spending money technically that you are being granted based on your credit reach. And so if
but there's a huge difference.
Okay, cool. Right? I'm just trying to wrap my head around people who are listening so they can know they kind of dealing in this digital space already.
Right, they are.
And then I brought you on the show, Tavonia, to kind of transition us to this new space, this new money space that's happening that we need to be a part of. So that's I was going to stop right there. So then you can take us or explain, Rashawn, good example, but the wrong example.
Right. It's a great example. Don't get me wrong, but there's a huge difference. And it's that actual difference that we kind of fall behind on. When you're talking about credit, you're talking about a centralized system that's not really your money. Right. So you mentioned limits. You mentioned, we all have credit limits. And, even when we're using a debit card, we still have debit card limits. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, you are the bank. So this is your money. There are no limits to what you can send and what you can spend. So that's the huge difference between the crypto digital currency and the digital currencies that we're using is that this is your money. There is no intermediary between you and your money when it comes to decentralized crypto. And that's why people love it so much, because it's disrupting the power structure that exists between you and your money.
Right. And so now I know it's real because, like I said, the Staples Center was just named crypto. in Los Angeles where the Lakers and the Clippers play in Los Angeles. So nobody's going to give naming rights to something that's a fad or a scam. And so that has a huge air of legitimacy. We talk about all these billionaires that it have made through cryptocurrency. Now, how did you get involved in crypto? Because like I said, we met several years ago while I was still managing Steve Harvey, and you have a tech background, and we were trying to develop a dating app and also an app tied to that famous strawberry letter at the time. So I know you have the tech background. So now you in the crypto world called the crypto queen. How did you make that transition? Because that was more just techie. Now this is fintech.
Well, in 2014, I founded a company called Safe to Me, and which was a peer-to-peer verification platform. And it was during that time when I came into the knowledge that Black people don't get funded by VCs, right? Not only Black people, but Black women. Black women get less than a percentage point. So when it came to the time for us to actually scale our MVP, there was no money to do so. Right. So that caught my attention. Crypto caught my attention a little more because I saw that there were actual tech companies out there that were using crypto to raise funds for their projects. Right. So it clicked to me. Wow, crypto is money. Because believe it or not, I was introduced to Bitcoin a long time ago, but I didn't quite understand that Bitcoin was actually money. Right. So it was at that point that I realized that this is money. And in our community, we've been talking about the Black dollar for so long, but we really technically don't have a Black dollar. But what if we did? And what if we had a Black dollar that could ride on the rails of a blockchain, and it'd be transparent and it'd have more trust and it would have government intervention? That was like a light went off in my head. So not only did I see crypto as an opportunity for me to be able to get capital for all my great tech ideas, but I also saw it as an opportunity for us to use in our community and have greater access to money outside of VCs and banks, et cetera, that, of course, are, very not fair to our community.
And now we hear the word fair, we hear the word education, and hear the word last in line. That's what people of color are tied to those. Last hired, first to let go or first fired, as some people may use that terminology. How can we, as African Americans, because that's what I am, and as an African American, how can we start catching up?
Well, one of the ways that we could start catching up is we have to start having more value in ourselves and having more value in what we offer. The Black tech community is rich when it comes to solutions to our condition. However, we suffer from a lack of support. Right. So, we may come up with a platform that might be a social media platform, but people will prefer to be on Facebook, which is predatory, or they may prefer to be on Instagram or whatever. Right. And we don't really give our own a fair shake. When it comes to tech, and I mentioned it, before the show, tech is very buggy. And initially, it's not the prettiest looking thing. It's not the pretty tech that actually goes on to being the more successful. It's the more functional. Right. So we tend to have a lack of patience with these new tech that we put out, MVPs or whatever and we may compare it to other larger funded projects out there. There are projects out there, for instance, the guy who started WeWork, right? His company almost went under, but then he was refunded again a couple of $100 million for a new project. Right. So in Black tech, we have to come out and compete with these guys who are coming in the space with hundreds of millions of dollars, even $1 billion valuations, when we can't even raise $1 million. Right. And what we have to understand is that what gets us this money is the support. People in tech equal data, data equals currency equals money. So we need people to support our projects so that we can get to that level to where we can solve the problems and issues in our community, and we can also flourish and close the wealth gap.
Well, I'm talking to Tavonia Evans. She is the queen of crypto. Since 2017, she has been an expert global voice for blockchains, language, Bitcoins, NFTs, because that's what I've been trying to bring on the show. When you have Money Making Conversation Masterclass, you better talk about money, and you better tell people how to understand money, because we all know how to spend it to a certain degree. When inflationary times, you go up to a gas pump and you don't know if you can fill it up or halfway or a quarter tank or just here's $5, and $5 basically would just get you home nowadays. So with that being said, in the world that we live in, how does one get into the cryptocurrency world? That's going to be my first question to Tavonia.
Well, the first thing you want to do, and it depends on where you're coming from.
Right.
Some of us want to come from a creative side, like we're interested in maybe using this as a solution. And then others, we're just consumers. We want to see how we can use this more efficiently. So if you're coming in just as a basic person new to crypto, the first thing you want to do is get a wallet, right? Mm-hmm. And not only that, let me back up. The first thing you want to do is get a little education. Right. So we talk a lot about there not being crypto education, but yes, nowadays there is more crypto education out there. There are more programs out there to get the basics. So start out with a little crypto education, just a little bit. But the main thing that you want to do is you want to get a wallet. Wallets are easy. They're free. And that's how that's like the doorway or the gateway into crypto. You know, I know in the community, it's like a little Southern thing. You say you have a wallet, you know, you're going to eventually have money to fill it up. Right. So, you know what I mean? So but you got to get a wallet first. So yes, in crypto, you're going to get a wallet, and it's not a physical wallet. It is a software. It is digital, and there are all kind of wallets. You have non-custodial wallets and you have custodial wallets. Us crypto heads, we prefer that you get a non-custodial wallet. And what that means is you're getting a wallet that truly is connected to the blockchain and is not owned by someone else. So for instance, if you sign up to Coinbase, for instance, you're going to get a custodial wallet. That's almost like having a bank account, meaning you got to prove who you are, and they actually hold your wallet. It's not yours. And a friend of mine, another crypto person, he goes, Bitcoin Zay, he goes, it's not your keys, it's not your cheese. So basically, if you don't have your keys or your wallet key, then someone else is holding it and they actually hold your funds. So you want to have a non-custodial wallet, which they're going to give you keys. So that means if you decide that you want to take your money somewhere else, or even if you want to take your crypto offline and store it on a paper somewhere, you always have your keys and you can do that. So we always suggest that you get a non-custodial wallet to start out with, so you truly own your money.
Now, Guapcoin, that's something that started in 2017, and you one of the inspirations when it was launched, is a decentralized cryptocurrency similar to Bitcoin. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin, because I want to, at the end of this interview, hopefully I've simplified some of the terminology. You know, we talked about the wallet, you talked about custodial and non-custodial. That's an education point right there. Custodial means you don't have ownership of your money. Basically, you've opened a bank account. A non-custodial means you have control. You can take your money where you want to take, offline, or keep it online. Now let's go to this Guapcoin, which is a decentralized cryptocurrency.
Well, decentralized, again, we always stress that, because that means that there's no middleman, no company or anything running it. This is a cryptocurrency that's strictly owned by the people. Right. And what I mean by the people is when you get a wallet, then you become an owner, a stakeholder in this whole project. Right. And that's what makes it similar to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is also a decentralized crypto. That means that there's no owner. There's no company running pulling the strings in the background. There's nobody you can call for customer service on Bitcoin if you have a problem. And you have to participate in the company in the community, because that's what these cryptos are about. Decentralized cryptocurrencies are about community. They're based on community. So the community gets to cheer and roar and tell everybody get this crypto and all of that, because they're all equal stakeholders in this thing. No one can just come and pull the plug. That's the difference with a decentralized crypto as well. No one can come and pull the plug and say, hey, this project is going to get shut down and we're going to just take it and we're going to run. No one can take your money, because that is you're going to have it in a non-custodial wallet, right? And you have say, you get to vote a lot, you get to be a part of the community, and you have say in the direction of the crypto in the future. So this is the model that we chose for Guapcoin, because this really truly gives us autonomy when it comes to money, and it's going to breed trust in the community when it comes to money as well.
Well, Facebook changed their name to Meta. Which nobody saw that coming. And so you have this whole and it's really interesting how, you watch these Marvels and DC, like I watch The Flash on CW. And so that's where Metaverse comes to my world. All these different meta. So that's the first introduction into the world of Metaverse was through this, these action adventure series. And so when I heard that Facebook was changing their name to Meta, and then, when you start talking about Guap City, it's an eco-sustainable metaverse, a real-life smart city, which focuses on educating the citizens on land ownership. Let's talk about that smart city. Let's talk about the metaverse. Let's talk about all this terminology, which tend to jump from fantasy land to reality. And when it becomes reality, that's where the education comes on. And that's when you need to go. It's when a major company, $1 billion company says, call us Meta now, we need to start listening, especially when they control the social media platforms that we all participate in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as a geek, I'm a total Metaverse geek. I've been involved in the Metaverse for a long time as well. It's not a new thing. It's been around for quite a bit. But the Metaverse, we felt, is not going to solve our problems solely as African Americans and as the global diaspora, because a lot of our problems exist offline. We don't even have the money, the resources as a collective to even catch up to where they are in terms of building the metaverse and those products, right? So we have to solve both problems. And we also have to solve problems that are coming, whether it's the recession, whether it's food insecurity. And we also have to solve the problem of educating our folks to become more sustainable and so that we can survive, the things that are coming. So these are problems that we feel are unique to us that also can go hand in hand with the metaverse. So we've been acquiring land in Georgia, and basically we bought it up under the moniker of Guap City. So we're trying to build a sustainable city model, which will function as a framework that other people can use to create sustainable cities, whether it's in another state or whether it's in another country.
Right.
So our whole thing is to build this foundational model that is governed by the blockchain, which is what we call DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations, which allow people to vote on practically everything you need to do when it comes to a city, right? And not only vote, but vote in a transparent way, in a undisruptible way. So there's no somebody's tampering with voting papers and all of that, but you can actually vote on the immutable blockchain, which creates more security. So the concept of the DAO is kind of sort of still new, right? And we don't want our folks to be left behind that as well, because of, the technology gap that exists. So we're opening up this world to, to African American and global diaspora so that we can, not only just catch up, so we can also thrive when it comes to building smart cities and also building metaverses, because that's what we're doing. We're building metaverses. There's actually not a metaverse. There is metaverses. Anyone can create a metaverse. And that's a misunderstanding that's kind of been put out there a little bit. Maybe it's been put out there so we can kind of, be yanked up into one construct by somebody, but anyone can build a metaverse. It's not just a one thing, So we're trying to dispel a lot of the myths out there about these technologies as well that may potentially cause a disadvantage to us, because number one, we have great social capital, and a lot of these companies would love to be able to tap into our social capital to push along their agendas and their platforms and stuff. And we want to own ours. So, that's the difference.
Well, that I got to go to the other page because people see money. And they see an opportunity, they're poorly educated or not educated enough. So how does one avoid the wrong relationship or the scam relationship or the relationship that's not a scam? You just invested in the wrong direction or open your wallet on the wrong platform. Let's start with your wallet, where you should open it at.
I think the best protection is community. That's why I said that the foundation of these projects are community. You should be joining communities that align with your core principles, and not just joining a community because of money, a community that says, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money by joining our community. No, you should be joining communities that align with your core principles, that are working on real life solutions that impact you in a real life way. and that's going to, again, make you want to delve a little bit deeper, make you more comfortable in what you're doing. You're not a fish out of water. You're not just joining on some project that you know nothing about, but they're promising you all of these payments in future riches and et cetera. That's not what we're promising with WalkCoin. We're promising a tool that we can all use to come together and build a financial community, and then build a data community, and use our resources to reinvest in our offline communities. So, you want to find something that you can align with. And that's what people were doing earlier on. Earlier on, there were many projects, and people would find projects that they really were interested in, that it could be something like Save the Dolphins, but you were really interested in this project. So you joined the project, and you put you not only invested your money, but you invested your interests, and you invested your time in these projects. So I think that's the big key. The key is to align with those projects that align with you.
Right. And so it's all about, like I said, relationships, which is typical in trying to establish credit. You have to go work for a company to develop understand that company has a long-term investment in you. You invest your time into the company. In order to get good credit, you got to pay people on a timely basis. But in this cryptocurrency world, I guess the word is just digital. It gets old habits are hard to break. I guess that's the term I should put into this conversation. And then a comfort zone. We're already, as African Americans, we don't invest enough in the stock market. Enough. We're low end participants in that world. We still go to these check cashing places to cash out checks. We don't have the banking facilities in our African American neighborhoods, even though the younger generation of us are very prone to use, and I've said prone in a very positive amount, apps, which they still are the generation that may start investing in the cryptocurrency. I ask you this question, and I say you the expert to say this, but is the older generation lost in trying to understand the cryptocurrency world?
Not at all. My grandmother was 99 years old. She passed away in January, and she was one of my biggest supporters with WalkCoin. She very well understood what we were trying to do in terms of creating a currency that we could use in our community. She understood totally. So I felt if my 99-year-old grandmother can get it, anyone can get it. Of course, the younger generations, they're more socially savvy. And really, this is, you talked about how we haven't really invested in these other things, but we're fully invested in social media. We can't discount that. We're fully invested in social media. Like if we were to pull out of Instagram, and that would include all of the celebrities that we know tomorrow, then where would Instagram be? Snoop already said that he was one of the first celebrities on Instagram and pulled in a lot of people with him when he came. Right. So we have to understand that we've already been investing with our social capital. So we're savvy enough to now take our social capital and leap to another system and actually monetize our social capital, because that's what crypto does. Crypto gives us the ability to monetize our social value and our social capital. People always ask, well, where does it come from? Where does the value come from? It comes from you. It comes from your social value.
Right. And when you do that, you win. I'm talking to Tavonia Evans. She's called the Queen of Crypto, which I think is the title most appropriate. And like I said, when I bring people on my show, Money Making Conversation Masterclass, a working history or working relationship is very important. And she reminded me, Rashawn, we met before. And I said, when? She said, 2009. I was doing an app for you on your dating app, which really comforted me, because I'm gonna tell you something, Tavonia. Because people listen to me, people have a trust in me, and when I bring individuals on this show and they start talking about cryptocurrency, it comes with a warning label, because of the fact that do your research. Just because I'm bringing somebody on there, understand there is risk. There's risk when you get on an airplane. There's risk when you drive your car, but this is direct risk because it involves your money. How can they reach out to you? How could they, do you have courses? Do you have online setups where people can take monthly paid subscriptions to be educated? Because my big walk away from this interview is that they need to find you, educate themselves based on your legacy that you put out there and your reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's two ways. I am a masterclass teacher on a platform called Class Rebel. That's classrebel.com. And we have free introductory crypto classes that lead into longer, more intensive couple of day crypto classes. So if you follow me on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Tavonia Evans, or Twitter, Tavonia Evans, or even Guapcoin, you'll see your way to get into our free crypto class. And then also we have an initiative called 1millionwallets.com.
Wow.
And 1 Million Wallets is our effort to go out anywhere someone asks us to show up and instruct the people on crypto. So whether it's your church or whether it's your organization, or if you could get together 20 to 50 people, we will show up. I will show up personally and educate you on cryptocurrency. So that's one of our other initiatives as well. It's 1millionwallets.com. And you can visit us at guapcoin.org, and we have some links. We'll have links also to 1 Million Wallet, but that's our big initiative. We want to go, I decided 6 months ago, I want to get on the streets. I want to be right there on the streets, educating people about this, and that's where we came up with 1 Million Wallets, because we want to get 1 million people to get a wallet. It's free. Just get a wallet,
right.
And in the process of getting a wallet, you help us to be able to grow to a point where we can help you, and we can teach you all you need to know about crypto and answer all of your questions.
First of all, I'm excited. I want you to do me a favor. I have a newsletter that goes out every Wednesday at 10 a.m. It goes out to 66,000 plus. We have an open rate of about 36%. So that means that they don't discard my newsletter when it comes across their desk. The industry standard, I think, is 15% open rate. And I like those free classes. If you have a banner that you can email to me so we can put that in our newsletter, and I love that 1 million wallets. I like to become an advocate, if you don't mind, because I like to be able to educate myself and educate my base. But the free crypto classes, I think, can really get them in, and I like to drop it in my newsletter, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah. So we'll get with Marissa, who handles all the bookings on this show for this particular segment. And I really am sincerely telling you, Tavonia Evans, I may not have remembered you from 2009, but I remember you in 2022. I want your help. I want to use your talents. I want to use your abilities to help turn that curve. Like you said, just sign up for a wallet. It's free. I need to put my name on a wallet. Telvin, who's my producer for this show every week, he needs to put his name on a wallet so we can start at least creeping into that world and develop some level of comfort that we can be a participant, and it's not a scam. It's not something that you should avoid. You should avoid it. You should run to it, but run to it with proper family guidance. That's what I took away from you: family and visionary. And I consider you a visionary. But Tavonia, most importantly, thank you for coming on Money Making Conversation Masterclass.
Thank you.
You've been wonderful. And again, this is a show about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. We didn't talk about NFTs, but she can help you out there. But we're going to put her banner in our newsletter on a weekly basis. So it offers free classes that can educate you about cryptocurrency. So don't stop yourself from being a part of the economic gains that are being made out there, especially in the digital currency world. The metaverse is real, y'all. As she said, metaverse is.
Absolutely.
Thank you.